So this subsection, the fourth chapter, from text 11 to 15, that Krishna is giving or explaining how he is the creator of all the paths, and he is the goal of all the paths as well. In this way, the Lord is giving an accurate understanding in this section about various paths that can lead to Him. And the Lord is absolving, uh, or the Lord is dissolving, Lord is giving a very accurate understanding. Lord is dissolving all kinds of misconceptions. The Lord is exposing or shattering of the haziness. Because we see that the path of bhakti is very much filled with, or spirituality is very much taken, the whole idea of spirituality is very much portrayed in a very hazy fashion. And because the entire idea of spirituality or going towards God is hazy, so therefore outside people, materialistic people, they feel that okay, those who are taking to uh, spiritualists are crazy. That's what they feel. Why? Because the entire portrayal looks very hazy. That's because the entire portrayal of spirituality looks very hazy, and therefore people feel that, or there is this notion that spiritualists are crazy because all they are up to is what they are up to is not very clearly portrayed. So here the Lord is shattering of misconceptions and giving a very clear understanding of various paths that can lead to Him and what stands where, and how ultimately He has created all these paths to accommodate everyone. But all these paths, eventually, the goal is Krishna. The goal is nothing else. In spirituality, there is only one goal, that is Krishna. So let's read text 11.
11. 11.
Yes, 4.11. Yeah, ये समाप्तपदे तांस्तथैव भजामि मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. But everyone is searching for Krishna in the different aspects of his manifestations. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal Brahma Jyotir effulgence. and as the all-pervading super soul dwelling within everything, including particles of atoms. But Krishna is fully realized only by his pure devotees. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone's realization, and thus anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. In the transcendental world also, Krishna reciprocates with his pure devotees in the transcendental attitude, just as the devotee wants him. One devotee may want Krishna as the Supreme Master, another as his personal friend, another as his son, and still another as his lover. Krishna rewards all the devotees equally, according to their different intensities of love for him. In the material world, the same reciprocations of feelings are there, and they are equally exchanged with the Lord with different types of worshippers. The pure devotees, both here and in the transcendental abode of the Lord, associate with them in person and are able to render personal service to the Lord, and thus derive transcendental bliss in His loving service. As for those who are impersonalists and who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Krishna helps also by absorbing them into his effulgence. Such impersonalists do not agree to accept the eternal, blissful personality of Godhead. Consequently, they cannot release the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord, having extinguished their individuality. Some of them who are not firmly situated, even in the impersonal existence, return to this material world to exhibit their dormant desires for activities. They are not admitted into the spiritual planets, but they are again given a chance to act on the material planets. For those who are fruitive workers, the Lord awards the desired results of their prescribed duties. As the Yageshwara and those who are yogis seeking mystic powers are awarded such powers. In other words, everyone is dependent upon success, for success, upon his mercy alone. And all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. Unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect, as is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Akama sarva kama moksha kama saradhi tivrena bhakti yogena jiteta purusham param. Whether one is without desires, the condition of the devotees, or is desirous of the fruitive results, or is after liberation, one should, with all efforts, try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Krishna consciousness. There is this very prominent and pertinent misconception in which uh, uh, which drives people in saying that all paths lead to the same destination. So the variants of this only come in the form of, take the form of Mayavad, Shunyavad, and so on. Why? Because they feel that, okay, if all paths are going to Krishna, that means one can achieve Krishna to any path. So that's one kind of variant of Mayavad. Another kind of variant is, they say everything is Krishna. So if everything is Krishna, then anything you do is spiritual. So anything you can do. Because so both these point variants are quite related because everything is Krishna. That means any path leading to anywhere is Krishna. So here the Lord is very precisely shattering and clearing off this misconception. The Lord is saying anything and everything is not Krishna. Anything and everything is dependent upon Krishna, is resting upon Krishna, as the Lord says, Sutre Mani Gana Iva. So anything and everything is dependent on Krishna, resting on Krishna, but anything and everything is not Krishna. So with this understanding, then we say that because anything and everything is dependent on Krishna. Now, when it comes to spiritual paths, then this verse the Lord explains that all these paths are partial accomplishments or manifestations or partial. So they are not, all these paths do not lead to the same goal of spiritual perfection or spiritual attainment. But they go to all paths lead to all paths basically lead to different manifestations towards the same goal. And everything is dependent on Krishna. Everything is the foundation of Krishna. That means everything manifests Krishna to in different degrees. And therefore, any attempt or any path to go into any direction is at best a milestone towards the pivotal central goal of going back to Krishna, or going back home, back to God. So this is a very broad and foolproof understanding which the Lord is giving. And in this understanding, the Lord is including everyone. So the karmis, the jnanis, the yogis, everyone is included in this definition. It's a very broad definition that the Lord is saying that any attempt towards divinity will lead to different milestones. Now one may say that the results appear to be very different, very different. Because karmis get sense gratification. Jnanis get scholarship and knowledge. Yogis get mystic powers. And the devotees get more and more absorption in bhakti. They get more and more bhakti. They get whether bhakti we define in terms of chanting or shastra. The devotees get more and more taste, more and more absorption in the same activities. That's what the devotees. So one may say, oh, these results are completely different. I say that these are completely different. So the results become, no, the results are completely different because, so that is very natural. Why? Because uh, the results will be seen as completely different or rather contradictory or poles apart. Uh, if one has no understanding of the ultimate goal. So only for one who has no understanding of the ultimate goal, all these results will appear as poles apart, contradictory, completely separate from each other. Just like uh, when one is on a journey, say one is on a journey to Mayapur. On the journey to Mayapur, say from Kharagpur, there are a lot of halts or milestones will come in between. At one point in between at one point in between some villages will come. So one is seeing very rural, very natural, side. Another point, a big river body comes, Rupanarayan, the trajectory of Mother Ganges, Rupanarayan. Another point, now Calcutta city comes very much, a lot of traffic, a lot of uh, hustle bustle, no, uh, again green will come. So various destinations are coming. Now, if one sees these destinations in an isolated way, or these destinations are completely pulls apart. What has a no, what Rupanarayan has to do with Calcutta city, and what Calcutta city has to do with a rural village area having trees and forests and all that. That is the whole point. So to make sense of what one has achieved, one needs to know that what is the ultimate target. That is the whole point. Then one can make sense of what one has achieved. So therefore, in a journey, one is not very much excited about what's coming in between. One is very much excited about where one is in relationship to the ultimate goal. Oh, I am only 30 kilometers from Mayapur. Evo, you know, it's only 5 kilometers to Mayapur. Evo. So that is the idea, and that is what can give one the excitement. What's happening? Just like we were traveling in this uh, Emirates Airlines to Boston. So a lot of things are coming in between. So a lot of things are coming in between. The flight goes through Pakistan. Yeah, it goes through Afghanistan, Pakistan. So Pakistan comes. The first thing what comes is Pakistan. And because after Pakistan only these countries come, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. Uh, and it goes further from there. Then London comes, Germany comes. uh, I mean, you can see that they are below. You know? I mean, you can see they are below. So I mean, the flight does land there. So, but then now all these countries are coming. London, Germany, like that. So you can get a feel that okay, I am above London now. I am above Germany now. Like that. And lot of seas comes, ocean bodies and all that. And then finally it enters the Canada and the North American belt, like that. So now the whole point is that the journey is exciting when you see how much where you are relative to the ultimate destination. So what Emirates had done was that there was a screen, very dangerous screen. Means in this screen, they had put so many movies and so much entertainment and all. But one good thing in that thing was that in a default they had uh, One such section in that was that you can get to understand geographically what's happening with the flight, get the coordinates of the flight. So it was showing this world map and it was showing where the flight is and where it has to go. So it was giving a constant signal. Okay, it's a long flight, 14 hours flight is a long flight. So when I was first time traveling, so for such a long flight, 14 hours sitting. So and the 14 hours is huge because if it is 6 hours, 7 hours, you can just sleep. Uh, 4 hours flight, you can just sleep and it's night. You take a flight, you just sleep and you get up for Mangalarti, you are at the next destination. 14 hours, you just cannot sleep 14 hours. Not like that. Huh? So 7, 8 hours also I have tried. You just sleep, get up, chant 16 rounds, you are there. Or 14 hours, you know, and to chant 48 rounds or something like that to be able to finish it off. So it's a long flight actually. So, but then when you see that, okay, 11 hours to the destination, 10 hours for the destination, oh, 7 hours for the destination. 5 hours for the destination, 3 hours, sure, 1 hour for the destination, you will almost reach. We feel very excited about it. That's the excitement and joy, like that. So I was seeing that this makes the entire journey very meaningful. Otherwise, any intermediate experience is not a very welcome experience. Like that. In that sense, any intermediate experience is of no use. Like that. So, I mean, the ultimate achievement is to be seen. So, therefore, the point which comes is that the intermediate destinations have some value only in relationship to the ultimate destination. Otherwise, the intermediate destinations, it's not only that we will not be able to make any sense of what's happening, not only will be able to have a coherent life story, uh, uh, but the intermediate destinations only have meaning in relationship to the ultimate destination. On their own, they don't have any meaning. They don't have any meaning, intermediate destinations. On their own, in a standalone sense, they don't have any meaning. How to understand this? We can understand this very easily. Just like, say, for example, say this undergraduate course, say IIT undergraduate BTech, like that. So now IIT undergraduate BTech is a long curve. It takes 4 years, like that. It takes 4 years to accomplish, like that. So after one gets BTech, then any company is and it is a good CG or something like that. Any company is willing to take one for a job. You know, like that. Or say if it is medical, so after one gets MBBS in 5.5 years, one gets a license to practice. He gets registered into the medical body or medical board, something like that. And then one can open a clinic, apply government setup or private setup or whatever. One gets a license. Now, any intermediate destination, like in BTech also, the semester is now divided into the 6 month semester. 8 intermediate destinations are there in a 4 years journey, like that. So now the whole point is any intermediate destination will make sense and have value only in relationship with the ultimate end. So first year one gets 9 point CGPA, one is very ecstatic. Aha, I got 9 point. Why is very ecstatic? Because he'll be able to change the branch. Instead of getting a degree of chemical engineering BTech, now he can get a degree of computer science BTech. Nah, valuation increase, like that. So it starts making a lot of sense, you know, because every degree instead of chemical, in the degree it will come computer science. So chemical will lead to 12 lakh job, computer science will lead to 30 lakh job. So one is very excited about it. So the excitement is only in relationship to the ultimate end. if it degree में क्या आने वाला है? In degree instead of chemical, computer science will come. Another reason why people become very happy with first year CGPA is because they feel okay that first year is the first performance, the first go. If first year it is 9 point, that becomes an indication that probably, I will land up with an ultimate CGPA of 9 points, which will come in my degree because, some traits I have already seen that, okay, I can handle a 9 point. In this way, no, I have, 2 semesters I have handled a 9 point. That is excitement. Oh, first year I have 9 points. So that means my ultimate CG will be 9 point when I pass out, more or less. That gives excitement. But now if you see, first year CGPA in isolation has no value. If somebody says, अरे फर्स्ट ईयर में तो 9 पॉइंट आ ही गया, दैट मीन्स मेरे अंदर इतना कैलिबर है, तो फिर डिग्री पूरा करने की क्या जरूरत, बस चलते हैं. So if one drops off and he may say, अरे I am JEE rank whatever, 500, and I got 5,000, because and I am 9 point or something like that, and I am first year 9 point. We टेस्ट करके फर्स्ट ईयर में ही मैंने परफॉर्म करके दिखा दिया, इतना कैलिबर है, गिव मी जॉब, एनीबॉडी विल गिव जॉब, गिव मी PhD admission, anybody will give him PhD admission. He'll say you have not completed. What is the use of your first year 9 point? फर्स्ट ईयर 9 point तो सेकंड ईयर में भी लाना था ना. और so 4 years, so everybody will say, fool, you should have stayed for 4 years. What is the use of your temporary standalone achievement like that? So the whole point is, so just like in medical also, if somebody says, oh, I am first year topper, of AIMS, Delhi, and after that I left it, for higher goals, because I already saw that I know everything in medical science. Anybody will go to him for medical treatment? Nobody will go to him. So therefore, we have to understand. So therefore, we can understand. Now, you see, when internship comes, internship. So many companies are ready to take bright students for internships. They are taking these students for internships. Why? Uh, because they know that this fellow is in third year. In 1 year time, he will get a degree. That is why they are taking for internship. So if somebody says somebody performed very nicely at internship, then what they give? They give a pre-placement offer. They say, oh, you are very nice. You complete the degree, we'll give you a job. So in this way, as you are going, the way you are going right now, we are very much interested in hiring. If you go like this, as you are going, for next 1.5 years or 1 year more, we will give you a job. But somebody says, Arey, you have already seen my caliber. I 3 year I have passed and 9 point, and then I have performed terrific and all that. You give me job right now only. Why should I go back to college and pay the fees? Give me job right now only. Is it not? You are there, we are there, in between why hurdy. Anybody will give him job? He'll say, no, 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 no. You complete degree and come. Without degree, even a good performance is of no use. So an intermediate good performance is at best an indicator. That's all. At best an indicator. In the same way, an intermediate achievement, either on the pathway of karma, jnana, or yoga, is at best only an indicator. This intermediate achievement will only have value if one goes, or if one is focused and steadfast towards the prime goal of achieving prema bhakti towards the Supreme God. So if one is having a very comfortable, pious, life, that doesn't mean he's very great. That was just an indicator that till now what he has done is all okay. Things, material world is not crushing. Material world is facilitating. Now one can run like a madman towards Krishna. But no need to worry about finances. They're overwhelming. No need to worry about material achievements. And now the karma settings are already arranged that anything that fellow does, you know, becomes materially success. Karma, kanda, the philosophy of karma kanda is like that. So that's only a facilitation that okay, now like a madman with no other priority, just run. But if one doesn't do that, then this achievement has no meaning. Like that. That's the whole point. Like say for example, nowadays in IITs, there are new hostels they are making. They are making new hostels fully AC, fully AC, like that. So I don't know whether in the washroom also they have put AC or not, you know. At least in the rooms there is fully AC, the air conditioned and all that. Now one will say, what a nice life, okay, we are staying in an AC, hostel, we get an AC shuttle to go to college, which is also centralized AC, So what a nice life. That facilitation makes sense provided one passes his exams. If somebody feels बस यही है destination life का, again, एसी हॉस्टल में रहेंगे, मजा करेंगे, एसी बस में घूमेंगे, एसी हॉल में बैठेंगे, बस बिंदास है लाइफ, लेकिन एग्जाम में फेल हो गए तो आईआईटी लात मार के भगा देगा, जितना, दैट्स द पॉइंट. So the whole thing is to be focused on the goal. So karma kanda or jnana kanda are facilitations. So a person is traversing on karma kanda, he will get some material comforts. This comfort can make the spiritual journey a little more comfortable, provided it is a spiritual journey. One should not forget that fact. Similarly, when one gets some achievements in Jnana Kanda, then in Jnana Kanda, one gets vision, long-lasting vision. So that vision acts like, that vision gives, no. So Karma Kanda makes journey comfortable. Okay. You know, the Jnana Kanda gives basically little solidity to the vision and mission of the person. That because one has got long lasting vision, one is the struggle uh, to succumb. So the struggle against the sensual desires and demands of the body, mind and senses. So uh, so one will get some solidity against it. That struggle will not be that intense because now one has got jnana installed. So jnana installed means it will, the struggle becomes a little less because one has a little more solidity. One will say, no, 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 this is sinful, like that. On the sensual plane, person doesn't understand it's sinful. He only understands it's kicking, like that. And not reciprocate to the kick. Oh, that's very, very painful, you know. So very, very painful. But when one gets jnana, then one says that okay, it may be kicking, but I have he has a higher vision. That vision actually insulates the pull down vector of the sensual provocations and negativity. So it gives some solidity. It gives some solidity. That's what. So that's what Jnana Kanda does. You know. Then this path of yoga means, after as one goes ahead, yogic perfection, it may be Ashtasiddhi perfection, it may be any kind of empowerment. See, when a devotee sees empowerment in his life, his or her life, a devotee only understands that uh, uh, devotee only understands that it is Krishna's grace. So a devotee understands that okay, I am not qualifying, but Krishna is encouraging. That's all. But one thing a devotee is most ecstatic about is that sometimes the empowerment gives a very clear proof to the devotee that Krishna is ready to, the Lord is mercifully ready to pick me up and accept me as an instrument in his mission. So his consciousness doesn't become, proud or arrogant, thinking that oh, I have this siddhi, I have that power. I can turn people into bodies. I have that power. I can read their minds. I have that power. A devotee doesn't feel like a devotee always. Uh, so the devotee feels that Krishna is engaging me, making me an instrument in his mission, and he's channelizing his divine mercy through me. Let me become a more and more proper. Let me become more humble. Let me become more surrendered to Krishna. Let me not take deeper inventory of myself, that I don't get materially absorbed and dissolved like that. That's a devotee's uh, thought process, like that. So if you see, whether it is bodily comfort, you know, uh, bodily comfort, whether it is vision which gives solidity, or it is yogic siddhis which act like empowerment, it is all a facilitation to achieve this. All these can help one go closer to Krishna and remain steadfast in the focus of achieving Krishna. If you remove Krishna, all these become useless. That's the point. So, so it's like that. So, that's the idea. That is the idea. So we understand that bhakti is the ultimate thing, therefore. And all other things, if they are there, it can facilitate us. If not there, still it doesn't make so much. It doesn't matter so much because bhakti is at least bhakti is there. The main thing is there. The main thing is ensured everything is there. Just like sometimes in some setups or some boys-based temple, one may just get khichdi, plain khichdi with sometimes less salt, sometimes half cooked, sometimes double cooked. Means half burnt. So like that. Uh, so that is like the bare, the bare minimum what one can get. Another temple may be very opulent. One may get 10 items, three kinds of sabjis, two kinds of sweet, puri, patata. Every afternoon get that. It's a very opulent temple. So everything, now this track or that track, whatever be the track or whatever be the conditions which we are in, uh, uh, everyone is having a comfortable position. It makes sense only when the devotee is serious about spiritual life. If he's simply eating and sleeping, that is not very good. Yeah, but he's doing seva, he's very grateful, and he's up there for every morning for morning program. Then that comfort, then that everything makes sense like that. Like in preaching also, we facilitate people. Like say STW people come, how much you struggle, in STW, we make breakfast prasad, we make lunch prasad, dinner prasad. Devotees from other college are coming. We are running around, for arranging rentals, then putting fans, giving them prasads, arranging water, everything, like that. But all that, makes sense or is joyful only when we see that okay, these boys who have come, they are taking Krishna consciousness. Oh, this boy was one rounder, regular. No? Because 16 rounder, full regular. No? So that joyful. No? That's very joyful. So the joy is coming from the ultimate good. Like that. So just like we facilitate in our preaching, so we are teaching the software also, no? But somebody says, no, 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 I am most attached to the software, no? Like that. Any meeting of software, any MMC of software, any circle of software, any weekly, get together, any time, you call me, I'll come, other where I am not much concerned about, spiritual and so such people we are not very happy with. So that doesn't give us the joy. In the same sense, everything the Lord has arranged, whether it is material facilities or it is the long-term vision or it is empowerment, everything is there to facilitate. So that means one who is not practicing bhakti, he is taking all these things in a very cheap way. That's the point. He's not valuing it appropriately. He's not valuing it appropriately. And that is what happens. See, the karmi, he gets money. Now he is not conscious that his money should is connected to Krishna. Ultimately, so such a karmi is busy in sense gratification. So he is not valuing the money properly. That's why money is stashed away from him due course of time. But if he values money, that basically this is Krishna's facilitation which is given to me. So then, now I can do some service also. So, so many services dependent on money. Temple construction. So many services dependent on food for life, everything requires money. So one understand that okay, I have got money, Krishna is giving, I can serve him very nicely with it. Then that money is, so then that facilitation is not, so then that is like, valuing something proper. That's the idea. Let's go further. Men in this world desire success in fruitive activities. Therefore, they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from the fruitive work in this world. For there is a great misconception about the gods and demigods of this material world, and men of less intelligence, although passing as great scholars, take these demigods to be various forms of the Supreme Lord. Actually, the demigods are not different forms of the Supreme Lord. They are different parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. God is one, parts and parcels are many. The Vedas say Nitya or Nityana. Ishvara Param Krishna. The Supreme God is one Krishna, and demigods are delegated with powers to manage this material world. These demigods are all living entities, Nityanam, material, with different grades of material power. They cannot be equal to the Supreme God, Narayan, Vishnu, or Krishna. Anyone who thinks that God and demigods are of the same level is called an atheist or Pashandi. Even the demigod like Brahma and Shiva cannot be compared to the Supreme God. In fact, the Lord is worshipped by the demigods such as Brahma and Shiva. Shiva wearing Sinur. Yet curiously enough, there are many human leaders who are worshipped by foolish men under the misunderstanding of anthropomorphism or zoomorphism. Ihadevata denotes a powerful man or demigod of this material. But Narayan, Vishnu, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, does not belong to this world. He is above, transcendental to material creation. Even Shiva Shankaracharyya, the leader of the impersonalists, maintains that Narayan or Krishna is beyond the material creation. However, foolish people with a jnana worship the demigods because they want immediate results. They get the result, but they do not know the results to obtain are temporary. And are meant for less intelligent person. Intelligent person in Krishna consciousness has no need to worship the pottery demigods for some intermediate, immediate, temporary benefit. The demigods in this material world, as well as their worshippers, will vanish with the annihilation of this material world. The boons of the demigods are material and temporal. Both the material worlds and their inhabitants, including the demigods and their worshippers, are bubbles in the cosmic ocean. In this ocean, however, human society is mad after temporary things such as material opulence of possessing land, family, enjoyable paraphernalia. To achieve such temporary things, people worship the demigods, the powerful men in human society. If a man gets a ministership in the government by worshipping a political leader, he considers that he has achieved a great boon. All of them are therefore no toeing to the so-called leaders of big guns in order to achieve some temporary boons, and they indeed achieve such things. Such foolish men are not interested in Krishna consciousness for the permanent solution to the hardships of material life. They're all after sense enjoyment. To get a little facility for sense enjoyment, they are attracted to worshipping the empowered living entities as demigods. This first indicates that people are rarely interested in Krishna consciousness. They're mostly interested in material achievement, and therefore they worship some powerful living entity. Okay. Hmm. Now we may say that, oh, the Lord's conclusion seems to be a little heavy. The Lord is saying any of these people who overvalue the demigods, I think demigods same power, same level as Krishna, they are parshendiks, the atheists. So then they may say, oh, this seems to be a not quite a strong one. Now the whole idea is, so what is this whole idea about? So why this kind of strictness, strict injunction given by the Lord? There's a reason for it. The reason is, you see, the mentality of overvaluing the demigods is basically the mentality of overvaluing oneself in relationship to Krishna. Such a mentality, uh, so overvaluing oneself over Krishna, you know, that is the very basis of this material existence. And so that means one is not giving priority to Krishna. That means one is hearing oneself more than Krishna. That is what is called as atheism. What is called as atheism? So the whole idea of overvaluing oneself over and above Krishna, in that sense, it is a risky idea. Because bhakti begins from the point that I am part and parcel of this. इसका संबंध क्या है? संबंध ठीक है तभी तो अविधेय हो. अविधेय प्रॉपर है तभी तो प्रयोजन मिलेगा. So, like that. So now we may say, oh, but in demigod worship, one is not overvaluing oneself, some other living entity. है ना? With some other living entity का क्या है ना? हाँ, some other living entity, if we overvalue that other living entity, the one is not actually overvaluing the other living entity. One is only supporting him so that he can get benefits from it. That's all. Like sometimes some industrialists go to some political leader, say, okay, I will give you this much money, but when you come in power, you support me. So they are standing by one fellow and overvaluing him that okay, let us support this fellow. But they are not actually attached to the fellow. They are attached to the returns, the essential returns what they will get from that fellow later. So that's why it is called as ethical. Therefore, bhakti necessitates one, you know, to dance according to the tunes of the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and the Acharya. Let's read further. So the next was Chaturvarnyamaya system guna karma vibhaga sapasya karataram apima vitti kartaram apim. Kinds of three divisions, three modes of fertilization, sorry, and the work associated with them. The four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. Again, the purport. The Lord is the creator of everything. Everything is born of Him. Everything is sustained by Him. Everything after annihilation rests in Him. He is therefore the creator of the four divisions of social order, beginning with the intelligent class of men technically called Brahmanas due to their being situated in the mode of goodness. Next is the administrative class, technically called the Kshatriyas due to being situated in the mode of passion. Next, the mercantile class, Vaishyas, so situated in the mixed modes of passion and ignorance. And the Shudras are situated in the mode of ignorance. In spite of his creating the four divisions of human society, Lord Krishna does not belong to any of these divisions because he is not one of the conditioned souls, a section of whom form the human society. Human society is similar to any other animal society, but to elevate them from the animal status, the above mentioned divisions are created by the Lord for systematic development of Krishna consciousness. The tendency of a particular man towards work is determined by the modes of material nature which he has acquired. Such symptoms of life, according to different modes of material nature, are described in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter. A person Krishna conscious, however, above the Brahmanas. Although Brahmanas by quality are supposed to know the Brahman, most of them approach the impersonal Brahman, bodily Brahman manifestation to be Krishna. But a man who transcends the limited knowledge of a Brahmana and reaches the knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, becomes a person in Krishna consciousness. In other words, Vaishnava. Krishna consciousness includes knowledge of all different planetary expansions of Krishna, namely Ram, Narsimha, Varaha, etc. And as Krishna is transcendental to the system of the four divisions of human society, a person in Krishna consciousness is also transcendental to all the divisions of human society, whether we consider divisions of community, nation, or species. Here we see Varnashrama Dharma again is a facilitation by the Supreme Lord so that one can practice bhakti easily. Everyone is tainted with certain kinds of modes. These modes will always keep pulling and driving the devotee in their particular direction. Now, Krishna is saying, according to the dictates of the push or pull of any of these modes, whichever direction you go, I can give you service in connection to me there. The idea is that if the devotee is sitting on the vehicle of his or her own modes, and in that vehicle, if he or she is able to serve Krishna, then it is easier for that devotee. Because as such, one anyone can do any service, and Krishna's empowerment doesn't have any bias. So anyone whom Krishna empowers, mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim. But when we see from our standpoint, the idea of varnashrama is very deep rooted because one follows the principle of varnashrama, one is able to very comfortably and steadily serve. That will lead to purification of heart. And then, therefore, when retirement time comes, and the Vedic follower will be ready for emancipation by the time the retirement comes, 50 years, not 60, but 50. So, in the same line of Karma Jnana Yoga, we can see that even Varnashrama has meaning only if Krishna is the center. Krishna is the focus. Otherwise, as Bhagavatam says, Raha, Dharana, Tattva Swadharmam Charanam Jam Hare. Wait a second. This is Omartha Akam Bhagatam Sudharmatam. Vajanapakotthapate tato yadi. That is second line. Vajanapakotthapate tato yadi. Yatra kvava bhadram. Abhuta musyaki. Hovardhako bhajatam swadharmatam. So here again it is explained that, for a person who is executing his Varmashama duties very nicely, but he doesn't have devotion, such a person what he can achieve? Such a person achievement is going to be nullified. It's temporary and after some time it will become zero. So temporary is not false, but very soon temporary will become false. That's the problem with temporary. Temporary is not false. Temporary is not exactly a dream, but very soon it will become a dream along with a scream. Because why? Because when something is illusory and it is lost, when it is lost, then it's not there. Then no matter how much you cry, it's not there. Then it actually becomes a dream. That means whatever one has passed actually becomes the time which one has passed actually becomes a dream along with the scream. You know? So this is a problem with the temporary actually. So therefore the verse says again that therefore if one takes to bhakti, even if one is not very steady and one is unsteady, and even if one is not able to continue, still he is much better because he walked on the divine path. The nature of bhakti, the nature of the Supreme Lord, bring him back to the path again, like that. So Prahlad Maharaj also gives this comparison that a dog eater, who is a devotee is far better than a Brahmana having all 12 Brahmanical qualities, but he has no faith in the Lord. Because this Brahmana puyeta yena pupan anuvarta na puyeta yena pupan anuvartena na. So he is saying that a Brahman having all 12 Shama, Dama, Saucha, Dana, Tapa, everything, Dana, Parigraha, every all these qualities the Brahman is having no faith in God. Such a Brahmana will not be able to elevate himself. What to say of family society. But a dog eater who is a devotee can elevate the whole world. That is much greater like that. So let's go further. Then the Lord is saying, there is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. So this is the beautiful point here. The, as there are constitutional laws in the material world, stating that the king can do no wrong, or the king is not subject to the state laws. Similarly, the Lord, although he is the creator of the material world, is not affected by the activities of the material world. He creates and remains aloof. From the creation, whereas the living entities are entangled in the fruitive results of material activities because of the propensity of lording it over the material resources. The proprietor of an establishment is not responsible for the right or wrong activities of the workers. The workers are themselves responsible. The living entities are engaged in the respective activities of sense gratification, and these activities are not ordained by the Lord. For advancement of sense gratification, the living entities are engaged in the work of this world, and they aspire to heavenly happiness after death. The Lord, being full in himself, has no attraction for so-called heavenly happiness. The heavenly demigods are only his engaged servants. A proprietor never desires the low-grade happiness, such as the workers may desire. He is aloof from material actions and reactions. For example, the rains are not responsible for different type of vegetation that appear on the earth. Along with such rains, there is no possibility of vegetative growth. Vedic Smriti, although without such rain there is no possibility. So the Vedic Smriti confirms this fact as follows. Nimitta matram evasu सृजयानं सर्गे कर्मणि प्रधानकरणे bhuta yato vai sritya shaktayah. In the material creation, the Lord is the only supreme cause. The immediate cause is material nature by which the cosmic manifestation is made visible. The created beings are of many varieties, such as the demigods, human beings, and lower animals, and all of them are subject to the reactions of their past, good, or bad activities. The Lord only gives them proper facilities for such activities and the regulations of the modes of nature, but He is never responsible for their present and past activities. In the Vedanta Sutra, it is confirmed, Vaishamya Naigrane na sapa na sapek satva. The Lord is never partial to any living entity. The living entity is responsible for his own acts. The Lord only gives facilities to the agency of material nature, the external energy. Anyone who is fully conversant with the intricacies of the law of karma or fruitive activities does not become affected by the results of such activities. In other words, the person who understands the transcendental nature of the law is an experienced man in Krishna consciousness. And thus he is never subjected to the law of karma. One who does not know the transcendental nature of the Lord and who thinks that the activities of the Lord are aimed at fruitive results, as are the activities of ordinary living entities, certainly becomes entangled himself in fruitive activities. But one who knows the supreme truth is the liberated soul fixed in Krishna consciousness. So this is just like the devotee of Lord Shiva who did tapasya in the Himalayas and he wanted to become very wealthy. Sanatan Goswami, no, Lord Shiva directed him to Sanatan Goswami. So he came to Sanatan Goswami with the mindset of asking what he wants. But when he saw Sanatan Goswami treating the wealth as very insignificant, then he learnt a very good lesson. But okay, such a great man. If this is insignificant for him, what is great for him? I also want that. You know? So that's the idea. That is the idea. So if the material world is so very nice, why is the Lord not involved? Why is the Lord aloof from it? So that's the reason. That means the material world is not very great. Because if it is so ecstatic, if it is oceanic bliss, everything, why is the Lord not involved? The Lord is not involved. That means uh, that where is the Lord involved? So if this is insignificant material world, which is so provoking, so if the Lord considers this material world as insignificant, then the Lord is facilitating but not being a part of it, like that. So the Lord is facilitating not being a part. So where He is a part of, that thing will be supremely joyful. You know? And that's how that's how it is understood that okay, if this place is rejected, which place the Lord is presently, that is the most valuable thing. So that's why the Lord is saying, one who understands my transcendental nature, such a person can understand that oh, I am not valuing the material energy. Means there is material energy is uh, low grade. So what is the Lord valuing? That must be really valuable. So a thoughtful person should think like this. I am intoxicated, enamored by seeing the razzle dazzle of this material world. And for the Lord, it is insignificant. Oh, then for what is razzle dazzle for the Lord? That will be supreme razzle dazzle. That is what I should aim. Why should I aim something which is this? This is not. So this is the very idea which is being portrayed here, that one who understands the transcendental nature of the Lord, such a person can understand that there is not much value in valuing the material things. But the real valuable thing, even the Lord's heart is hankering for, that is really valuable. That's the idea. All the liberated souls of the ancient times acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty following in their footsteps. There are two classes of men. Some of them are full of polluted material things within their hearts. Some of them are materially free. Krishna consciousness is equally beneficial for both of these persons. Those who are full of dirty things can take to the line of Krishna consciousness. for a gradual cleansing process, following the regulative principles of devotional service. Those who are already cleansed of the impurities may continue to act in the same Krishna consciousness, so that others may follow their exemplary activities and thereby be benefited. Foolish persons or neophytes in Krishna consciousness often want to retire from activities without having knowledge of Krishna. The knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Arjuna's desire to retire from activities in the battlefield was not approved by the Lord. One thing, so one need only to know how to act. To retire from the activities of Krishna consciousness and to sit aloof, making a show of Krishna consciousness is less important than actively engaging in the field of activities for the sake of Krishna. So Arjuna is advised to act in Krishna consciousness, following the footsteps of the Lord's previous disciples, just the sun god Vivaswan has mentioned here before. The Supreme Lord knows all his past activities, as well as those of persons who acted in Krishna consciousness in the past. Therefore, he recommends the acts of the sun god, who learned this art from the Lord some millions of years before. Also, students of Lord Krishna are mentioned here as past liberated persons engaged in the discharge of duties allotted by Krishna. Hare Krishna. Let us stop here for today. So this, very much encapsulate the second section. That Krishna is giving very accurate understanding how he has created all these paths and what is the goal of all these paths. Do you have any questions? Okay, so let's stop here for today. ग्रंथराज भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।